My name is George. I'm 67 years old and have been retired for 5 years now. Since retiring, I've had more time for my family, for myself, and for quiet mornings, sipping coffee out on the balcony. Sounds pretty ideal, doesn't it? But lately, something hasn't felt quite right. I've been forgetting things, and not just the little stuff. One day, I left my house keys in the fridge. I wish I were joking. Another time, I had plans to go for a walk with my best friend Martin. But when he knocked on the door, I was still inside watching TV, having completely forgotten about our meeting. My wife said, "Maybe you're not getting enough sleep." Though honestly, my sleep's not that bad. The grandkids tease me, calling me goldfish brain grandpa. They think it's funny, but to me, it's really not. I've heard it's normal for memory to fade with age, but I've also been managing high blood pressure for several years now. Recently, I came across something that said high blood pressure might affect memory. And that got me more worried than I've ever been. I can't help but wonder, are these forgetful moments somehow linked to my blood pressure? Or am I entering the early stages of dementia? I don't even know where to begin looking for answers. All I know is every time I forget something, it feels like I'm drinking a little, like I'm slowly losing pieces of who I am. Doctor, I want to ask you directly. Can high blood pressure really affect my memory? Or is this just a normal part of getting older?
George, first of all, let me say this. Many people your age share the exact same concern, and it's a very valid one. Forgetting your keys, missing an appointment, or losing track of recent conversations, it's not necessarily normal, but it doesn't automatically mean something serious either. However, since you have a history of high blood pressure, it's important that we take a closer look. And I'd like to help you understand this from the root. How does high blood pressure affect memory? Think of your brain as a highly sophisticated control center. In order to function smoothly, it needs a steady, uninterrupted supply of blood and oxygen. Blood delivers oxygen and nutrients to every neuron, like fuel to a computer system. When your blood pressure remains high over time, the blood vessels in your brain begin to thicken, stiffen, and become more prone to damage. This reduces blood flow to certain areas, especially those responsible for memory, like the hippocampus. You might not notice it right away, but over time, your ability to retain new information, focus, and process thoughts can begin to decline. This isn't just normal aging memory loss. Many people assume that forgetfulness is just part of getting older, and yes, aging can affect memory to a certain degree. But age-related memory changes are usually mild and very gradual. A healthy older adult might forget the name of a movie, but remember it a few minutes later. In contrast, memory decline linked to high blood pressure happens for a different reason: damage to brain blood vessels. It's a silent process, but with deeper consequences. In fact, it can progress into what's known as vascular dementia, the second most common type of memory loss after Alzheimer's disease. And here's what's crucial. This isn't just about aging. It's about an underlying medical issue, one that can be managed. Some warning signs to watch for in people with high blood pressure: frequently forgetting recent events or conversations, trouble focusing when multitasking, getting confused in new environments or when routines change, repeating questions, often losing track of time during the day. If you're noticing these symptoms, especially with a long-standing history of high blood pressure, that's your brain's way of signaling distress, and it shouldn't be ignored. So, to answer your question directly, can high blood pressure make me forgetful? Yes, it absolutely can, and in many cases, it does. But here's the more important question. What can we do to prevent it from getting worse? George, I know just hearing the words brain and memory is enough to make anyone worried. But here's the thing. The real danger of high blood pressure doesn't just lie in the numbers you see on a blood pressure monitor. It lies in the slow, silent damage done to your brain cells every day they go without enough blood. 1. Vascular dementia. This is perhaps the most concerning long-term effect of uncontrolled high blood pressure. Over time, small blood vessels in the brain become damaged and narrowed, which affects the areas responsible for memory, language, and decision-making. Unlike Alzheimer's disease, which progresses slowly, vascular dementia can come on more quickly, especially after a spike in blood pressure or a mini-stroke, transient ischemic attack. Someone may start by forgetting small things, then later, forget loved ones' faces, how to cook, how to use the bathroom, or even get lost in their own home. 2. Stroke and chronic brain ischemia. High blood pressure is the #1 cause of stroke, either when a blood vessel bursts or gets blocked in the brain. And not everyone gets lucky with recovery. Many stroke survivors end up with long-term disabilities, paralysis, speech difficulties, or permanent memory loss. Even without a full stroke, chronic reduced blood flow to the brain, because of hardened vessels, makes your brain work less efficiently. You may feel mentally foggy, easily fatigued, irritable, and just not as sharp as you once were. 3. Losing independence. You might not be thinking about this yet, George, but when memory declines to a certain point, things we once did independently, cooking, driving, managing finances, can suddenly feel overwhelming or even unsafe. And for older adults, losing that independence can bring feelings of shame, depression, and the heartbreaking thought, am I becoming a burden to my family? In many cases, that emotional toll is even heavier than the physical symptoms. In summary, high blood pressure is not just a number on a screen. It's a slow, silent force that, if left unchecked, can damage your memory, cloud your thinking, and take away your ability to live independently. But here's the good news. If you catch it early and take action, you can slow it down, or even prevent these outcomes altogether. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about next. George, now that we understand why high blood pressure can affect memory, here's the more important part. You are not powerless in this. In fact, there are many things you can start doing today to support your memory and protect your brain. 1. Keep your blood pressure under control, the foundation of everything. This is the first and most crucial step. If your blood pressure keeps spiking up and down like a roller coaster, then no matter how healthy your diet is or how many brain games you play, memory problems may persist. Measure your blood pressure daily, especially in the morning. Take your medications on time, every day, and don't skip doses. Go to your follow-up appointments so your doctor can adjust your treatment if needed. Avoid habits that raise blood pressure, staying up late, chronic stress, salty foods, and inactivity. Think of managing your blood pressure like brushing your teeth. It may seem simple, but it's your brain's daily protection routine. 2. Eat to nourish your brain and blood vessels. Some foods are natural memory boosters, and thankfully, easy to find in the U.S. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or tuna. Rich in omega-3s that promote blood flow to the brain and reduce inflammation. Dark leafy greens and berries, spinach, kale, and blueberries are packed with antioxidants to protect your brain's blood vessels. Cut back on salt. The saltier the food, the higher your blood pressure, and the weaker your memory. Stay hydrated and avoid alcohol. Never underestimate your plate. A brain-friendly diet is medicine you don't need a prescription for. 3. Exercise. For the heart and the brain. Even a daily 30-minute walk improves circulation to the brain, lowers blood pressure, boosts mood, and clears mental fog. Walk gently outside in fresh air. Try deep breathing or senior-friendly yoga. Join a local class at church or a senior center. Movement is a miracle drug, not just for the heart, but for your memory too. 4. Train your brain like a muscle. Your brain is just like any other muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Read books, keep a journal, do crosswords, Sudoku, or puzzles. Talk regularly with friends, neighbors, or family. Learn a new skill. Try painting, play an instrument, or learn a few Spanish phrases. Every mental challenge is like a workout for your memory. 5. Sleep well. No sleep, no memory. Deep, restful sleep helps your brain restore, organize memories, and stay sharp. Stick to a consistent bedtime. Avoid TV or phone screens before sleep. Make your bedroom calm, dark, and cool. Sleep is the secret key to solid memory and brain health. George, you don't have to do it all in one day. But if you just pick one small thing to start with, like a morning walk or adding salmon to dinner, that's already a powerful first step toward holding on to your memory and holding on to yourself. Dear George, and to anyone watching this video, maybe today you've noticed your memory isn't quite as sharp as it used to be. Maybe you've forgotten your keys, missed an appointment, or stumbled over your words in conversation. And if you're living with high blood pressure, your concern is completely valid. But here's what I want you to remember. High blood pressure can affect memory by silently damaging the small blood vessels in the brain. If left uncontrolled, it may lead to vascular dementia or even stroke. But the beautiful truth is, most of this can be prevented. Small actions, big impact. Start measuring your blood pressure every morning. It only takes 3 minutes, but gives you control over one of the most important factors that affect memory. Write down 3 things you accomplished today. This simple habit boosts memory and creates a sense of pride and positivity. Sometimes, it's the smallest steps that help us hold on to our most precious memories, the little pieces of life we never want to lose. If you're in your 60s or older and have noticed your memory isn't quite as sharp as it used to be, feel free to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your story, because every experience shared can become a source of comfort and encouragement for someone else. You're not alone on this journey. There are millions of others just like you, doing their best each day to protect their health, their memory, and their confidence. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to follow the channel so you won't miss out on simple, practical health tips for older adults, shared every week. Take care of your brain today to preserve your memories for tomorrow.